Hey, it's Paul. Welcome back to B&B Talk. Another exciting episode, so I'm going to jump right into it. First, we see Maya, and she's with Brooke and Eric. They're talking about, the sibling rivalry and relationship between Rick and Ridge, and she sort of says that sibling relationships can pose challenges, even the one with her and her sister, and Brooke sort of takes note of that. They realize that the tension between Maya and her sister could be a factor, and they mention that after she leaves, but they think that Maya can bring peace to Ridge if he, between Rick and Ridge, if Rick proposes to her. And then we see the Spencers, and it's really not much more than you've seen before. They're all sitting around plotting. Wyatt is there, Bill is there, Liam is there, and Katie's there, and they're trying to figure out how, to get Wyatt closer to Nicole to find out the secret. And Bill tells Wyatt that he's got to make time, he has to make this a priority because Wyatt says he's busy at work. And Bill sort of brings the hammer down and says, this has to be your focus. And in fact, he suggests that he, call her up and go out on a date with her. And, Wyatt doesn't have a problem with that because he really has feelings for Nicole. So he calls Nicole up and asks her out on a date. She accepts. And they all go back and forth coaching him. It's kind of comical, telling him what he should do and what he shouldn't do. And Bill sort of takes the cake when he says, you should take her to the most expensive restaurant, order the most expensive thing on the menu, and say that you've had it before and it's great. And Wyatt just tells him, you know what, I got this. And so he does call her up, and she accepts. And so Wyatt's looking forward to seeing her. But we see Carter, and he runs into Nicole and tells her about Ridge, quitting. And Nicole says, and reiterates that she wants, the secret to stay buried. She's so happy, and she knows the secret is or thinks the secret is gonna blow up her relationship with Wyatt. And you can see Carter, he has a flashback to when he told Ridge, so he is troubled. I know he doesn't want to hurt Maya, but I know he doesn't want Ridge to leave and Rick to, run roughshod over the company. So very interesting. And then we see Maya, she sort of interrupts as Rick and Ridge are going back and forth because Ridge is leading up to telling Rick about Maya. And good thing she shows up because she's able to sort of derail this, and Rick defends Maya. He's very, very staunch in his defense of her. And Maya, wanting to know what Ridge thinks he's got on her, asks if it's about her time in jail and says, Rick knows I was in jail. And, clearly it's not about that. And then Rick tells Maya after Ridge leaves that, he's got no right to judge her because she's so honest. Now, the last thing we see is, and it's the best thing, is Ridge going to Brooke and Eric, and he says that they can't extend Ridge's contract. Obviously, they don't know what he's talking about. He takes him somewhere private and says that he wants to know if Rick is going to propose. And, they sort of hint that, yes, the proposal is in the work, and Ridge says, you know what, you have to send him back to international. You got to send him back, and you have to send him back for his own good. And they're really curious, and he says because he won't be able to handle the situation. Now they want to know what situation, and he says this is going to impact the whole company, and they're like, same as he was, out with it. So he tells them that Maya isn't who she says that she is, and that she is transgender, and that when that comes out, it's going to be a problem for Forrester, and that's where we leave things off. It's a huge episode. That secret is it didn't come out in one shot, it's slowly leaking out all over the place. And now that Eric and Brooke have this information, obviously Brooke will want to protect her son, as will Eric want to protect his son. But how do they do it? I think now Ridge, that he's told them, is not leaving the company. He will have to go by their guidelines of how they let poor Rick know. But it'll probably be after he gets back from Big Bear. It's B&B Talk, it's Paul. Thanks for checking it out. We'll talk to you soon.